Hey, Toasties. I'm Missy, finally here with my bestie, Johnsy.
Hey, y'all.
I missed that. I missed it so much. And of course, we decided to also bring the guys back. We have Lloyd and Sean with us.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
You guys still fuck that up.
Always.
It's okay. Johnsy, what are you drinking over there?
I am actually drinking Psychedelic Rabbit, and it is a transcendent IPA, and I actually extremely like it. I would actually give it a 10.
Whoa, that's a. I don't think you've ever given anything a 10 on this
No,
since we started.
not even some of my go-to beers. I really enjoy this
No.
one. May have found a new favorite.
Wow. Is it local?
It is not. It's made by New
Okay.
Realm Brewing Company, but it is very,
Which
very
is located
tasty.
where?
Fuck if I know. It's not Virginia.
Well, of course,
That's all I know.
That's why it's a 10.
Oh, shit. I'm a fucking liar. It's Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed.
But it is rather tasty.
What you got over there, Sean?
Same thing. Some Psychedelic Rabbit.
Gatorade?
By New Realm. No, Transcendent IPA with some bunnies and shit on it.
With bunnies
Yeah,
and shit.
6.5,
We'll have to give that a
man.
try.
It's
not
very
bad.
Alice in Wonderland themed.
Very, very
Like
much
it's got
so.
the blue
Okay.
caterpillar and everything.
Yeah.
All right, Johnsy, is it happy?
It's not
very
extremely
happy.
Not
happy.
happy.
Like a fucking
Happy.
rabbit.
No. Then I
Happy. It's happy.
Shut up, Sean.
It's got rabbits on it. Of course it's hoppy.
I don't
Fucking
like
happy.
Such a dad joke.
I love it.
I don't like hoppy beers,
Got
so
her.
I will not like it. And again, guys, we are virtual because Johnsy's still not feeling up to 100%, but she's close.
I'm almost there, y'all.
But we're glad to have you back. Yeah. So what are you drinking over there, babe?
I mixed it up a little bit. I have Knob Creek Old Fashioned again, but I splashed Fantastic Mead cherry something or another in there.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's got
Fucking
Ooh.
warrior.
It
That
is
sounds
very
good.
delicious.
It brings the cherry notes out in the old fashioned mix, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so basically the stuff that I splashed in there from Fantastic Mead is it's supposed to replace the bitters and the cherry in an old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's just a cherry
what's that
mead.
called again?
It's from Funktastic that we've
Just a
been kind
cherry?
of having on the show a lot because that's what I'm drinking today too.
Yeah. That sounds good. It
Yeah,
honestly
they have
does.
a lot
I
of
love
good-
cherry.
lot of-
I do.
So what you got, Missy?
I got a it's called the Jersey thing, and it's supposed to be a raspberry yogurt whipped creamed mead. It is not my favorite, but it's not bad either.
Oh my god. That sounds so good.
It is good. It is good. I really want him. He's gonna make another ice cream one. Remember the ice cream one you had, Sean?
Oh.
That you and I were like loving. Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
he's gonna make another one.
Wasn't that like a confetti birthday cake?
It was
ice cream,
confetti
something
birthday
like that?
cake. Yeah,
It's so delicious.
yeah. He's gonna make another ice cream.
And it was very thick.
It was a milkshake. It was a mead
Oh my
milkshake, you guys. It
God,
was fucking great.
delicious.
But
alcoholic milkshake.
It wasn't
I
that
mean,
thick, Johns. It wasn't thicker than a Snickers.
No, it wasn't, but it was good.
Anyways, all right, guys. Well, Johnsy gets to have the boys for tonight. This is her turn.
Yep, my punishment.
It is. Because you guys are like working with toddlers.
I think Missy should
You
say
get off topic. You get off the topic way too easy. And now Johnsy's turn. And being Virgos and wanting to stay on a structure when you have you two get off topic so much kills.
Boobies.
Yeah.
It doesn't help them at all, like almost as immature as they are, but I think we'll have
You
fun.
are. So this is going to be really. This is going to be.
Woo-hoo.
I am more Virgo than you are. So
Yeah, I've got that Scorpio in me.
there was that problem. You are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are a tad bit on the more immature. So this is gonna be a doozy, you guys. So buckle up. Johnsy, what are we sharing with the guys today?
So we have got our first cannibal on the show today.
It's Sean,
and
isn't it?
he is very similar to Hannibal Lecter, but one of their very many differences is that one actually endured and enjoyed eating human flesh.
Ew.
And his name is Armin Meiwes.
Now this guy takes place in Germany as well.
Yes, he does.
Correct?
Yes.
So we're still in Germany, you guys.
But he was born December 1st, 1961. And his horrendous mother, her name was Waltrude. And he was the third child. She had 2 previous failed marriages before Armin's dad. And his father, Dieter, was actually too young to marry Waltrude when they first met. But when Dieter turned 21 and she was 40 at the time, they married. And though Walter thought that Armin was born out of love, he was not. And it was kind of Waltrude's scheme of entrapping her younger husband so that he wouldn't flee away like the rest of her ex-husbands.
Damn.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say how much I love that name.
Why?
That's like the classic. That's like the classic sibling. Like mom and dad don't even like you. You were adopted.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty freaking much. But Waltrude, with this new marriage, she gained this gorgeous, huge, ginormous home that she loved and fantasized of having a large family there and was completely happy with her husband and her children. And the house was 36 rooms and 16,000 square feet.
Damn. Could we just like have like a fourth of the house?
Mhm.
Jeez. That's a big ass house.
You won't even pass each other. You'll be A-okay.
Yeah, no.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could I have the West Wing, please?
Beauty and the Beast West reference. The West Wing is forbidden, Lloyd.
Fine. I'll settle with the East Wing. The sun rises in the east, anyways.
Yeah. Get to see a good sunrise.
But Waltrude was like a haggard, annoying woman, and she was very possessive. She was very manic in her insecurities, and she did finally drive her third husband away. And Armin was just only 4 when she had actually reported to authorities that her husband was having an affair with a younger woman, and that Dieter had befriended a young woman whose husband had passed away, but that was not the tale that Waltrude had spun to authorities. She went to inform them that this young woman had murdered her husband so she could carry on the affair with Dieter and marry him instead. So, upon hearing Waltrude's concerning tale, they actually did open an investigation on the young woman. But the investigation did fall quickly flat when the authorities couldn't find any evidence supporting Waltrude's accusations, and they ended up launching an investigation on Waltrude instead. And it was all based on her harassing conduct towards the woman and her husband. Now, she barely avoided prosecution when, she started poisoning her marriage with Dieter, but she was persistent and she started calling Dieter's boss to report his infidelities and demand that he be disciplined at his work when the authorities no longer pursued Dieter.
Damn.
So she's like royally trying to fuck his life up. Hey,
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna fuck you.
let's try to get you locked up. Not just that, but I'm gonna make it sure that you lose your fucking job that provided for me and the kids.
Yeah, she was very much so a Catherine Knight.
Freaking
But
conniving
by
bitch.
By 1969, Waltrude had destroyed what she wanted more than anything, her big, happy family. And basically, it was left in shambles. And the 2 older sons actually grew tired of their angry and controlling mother. And they moved out first. And they fled back to their own fathers. And Dieter also had his fill of Waltrude's rantings, of course, and constant attempts to destroy him. And in September of 1969, Armin quickly ended his game of hide and seek with his friend, and he kind of overheard his parents yelling from the front of the house. And Armin was about almost 8 years old when he watched his father get in his car and drive away, never to return. His father didn't say goodbye. Nothing. He just got in the car and never showed back up.
Damn.
Can
you imagine?
Wonder if he gave the
Can you
excuse.
imagine
I'm gonna run to the store real
Just
quick.
Right? Like, that's fucked up, man. Like, could you imagine? You're 8 years old, right? You're standing in the driveway because you just heard them argue. You run out the door, right? You see your dad just driving away, and that's the last time you ever see him.
Correct.
Could you imagine that? That's
It's heartbreaking.
Like, and that would mess you up.
When my parents got divorced when I was young, and I don't necessarily remember watching my dad leave, but I know that there was times where, like, when my dad did come see us,
Right.
there was times where it was just as hard
Yeah.
because I didn't know the next time I was going to see my dad. So I could only imagine what them kids felt like to just never see him again. Like, and then furthermore, like if he knew what type of woman she was,
Yeah.
and like he just left your kids with them like that, like, I'm sorry. Like, if I knew my wife was a crazy fucked up bitch and treated my kids like crap,
and you're not gonna leave her
my
with them.
kids are coming with me. If that means she's calling the cops on me, then that is what it is. I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Right.
No offense.
No offense. What the hell?
That's because you're a good daddy, Lloyd.
He is.
Okay, so that leaves us now with Armin left with Crazy Bitch. And he was pretty much a very well-behaved boy with a very vivid imagination. Him and his mom would play around the 36 rooms, even like decorate half of the house as like story tales, and she would play, pretend with him, and they would dress up in costume and act out all this stuff. He did have friends, but they were very few and far between. And where they lived in Germany, the population was like less than 100. It wasn't a very active town.
All right. Side note:
man.
could you imagine playing hide and seek in that fucking house?
Days go by.
That would be amazing.
That would be,
or even a Nerf gun war.
oh my gosh, that would literally be the ultimate hide and seek house.
Oh my god.
Playing Manhunt in the dark.
Oh fucking hell. What if you were playing Manhunt in the dark and you bumped into something that was not a human?
Fucking right, man.
Well, something tells
My mind is wandering now.
Something tells me that you would bump into a human,
Right?
whether it's alive or not is another story
Oh, God.
based upon your intro
God.
of this this case.
Right? Oh shit!
So
wait!
Armin, with his vivid imagination, he had become obsessed with one story in particular. And this was actually one of my favorites as a child too, but it was Hansel and Gretel.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all bullshit aside, I did not realize that story was what it was. I always thought that it was genuinely a kid's story, and Missy's like, that's a really fucked up story, actually. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I watched that shit on Barney or some shit. And she's like, no, it's fucked up.
It is very fucked up.
Stop judging me, guys.
But his particular favorite chapter was about fattening up Hansel for the witch's feast. And Armin would often play about the yard, and he would reenact the scene with the lead role as the witch, which is a little odd to me. You think he would want to be Hansel and, trying to flee the witch. No, he was the witch. He wanted to devour the children.
Okay. I got a couple red flags that just went up, but carry on.
But needless to say, he was a lonely child. And after the separation, and by means to cope with his loneliness, he created his imaginary friend / brother that he called Frankie. And Frankie would sit and listen to Armin, something his mother absolutely never did. But Armin, by the age of 12, would tell Frankie about his cannibalistic thoughts, and that if he could consume his friends or family, they would be with him internally. And that's where it started to bloom.
All right, pause. Hold on one sec. Anyone here ever had an imaginary friend?
Yes.
That's one thing from my childhood I don't remember having.
I don't think so either. I'm trying to think, but I don't think so. But you said, Johnsy, you said yes, and Missy, you said yes?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
What was your imaginary friend's name?
I had many.
All right, well, first off, was your imaginary friend a legit imaginary friend, or was it somebody that you seen that was your friend?
In my youth, I can't tell, But I can tell you that her name was Mrs. Clark, and she was only with me when I was at my nanny's house. It was never at my dad's house, which was my full-time home, and I went to my nanny's every other weekend.
Okay, so for you, I would say you legit were seeing somebody.
That's kind of what I tend to think. But I actually, as an adult now, I remember having one. I remember what she looked like, but I can't actually remember the events of seeing her, if that sounds weird.
Yeah, okay, so well, not my younger sister, but my one of my older sisters had imaginary friends, and they were like Jackson with Barry. Like, they were with her all the time type thing. It wasn't like specific to a certain spot or place or around certain people. That's why I say yours was probably like a legit person.
Yeah, and I can actually tell you it was never in my nanny's house. It was always in the backyard. I did have like a little area I'd like to like build a fort and like brings back stuff back behind her shed where I would play. And that's mostly where I remember interacting with her, but I don't actually remember the interaction. Like, I don't remember any conversations or anything like that.
Interesting. I feel like kids are more in tune to like that movie Sixth Sense. Like, I think they see things that we as adults tend to tone out of our life, or it could just be that our eyesights are more focused in. But I genuinely feel that a lot of kids can see people from the past.
Oh, absolutely. I think it has to do with a lot with their innocence.
Yes, that
I think that's a whole nother discussion, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole lot of discussion. We could go on about that because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of rabbit holes we can go down. There's a lot of avenues and
It's a whole nother
crossroads
fucking
we can
episode.
take
yeah, I was going to say
get to
that
so
that's a
many
whole
different
nother
places
episode.
in that. Yeah, like, and I would love to do that with y'all, honestly.
Yeah, that'd be a very interesting one to debate and talk about that, especially since Missy had multiple. So I would definitely like to hear her side down the road.
I was about to say, I plead the fifth on this conversation.
Absolutely. Hey, no.
So cannibalism.
This isn't court.
Well, shoot, both of our children
Okay,
have seen
let's
that.
get back to
All right, go back
Armin.
to your case.
All right, so Armin turns 18 and he joins the military. And it really wasn't the career for him, and he was struggling more with his fantasies at this time, which makes sense due to, a young man maturing and puberty and everything. But in 1991, he had enough of the military, and due to the nature of his controlling mother, Armin found it very difficult to make friends because he wasn't used to what is normal.
I could imagine him being a very socially awkward person his whole life.
Yes. So that's when he started to turn to the internet to find solace and try to make friends because he was lonely. And that's where he started to discover that he was attracted to sites that promoted violent pornography and cannibalism.
That's like the Slenderman chick, too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that's also when Armin kind of found out that he was bisexual too as well. And he actually had some gay relations with some of his army colleagues, but it never turned into any kind of relationship, of course, because it was the military. And then he also made frequent visits to prostitutes to fill his void. But when he realized when he realized the army was not his path, he then returned to civilian life, and he decided to actually become a computer technician. And no offense to computer technicians, I can kind of see where he would find like solace in that.
I could see that.
But this is when he moved back into the large mansion with now his ill mother. So she was already a cranky bitch to begin with, and now she's sick and dying. And I'm sorry to put it like that, because in 1999, she did die of cancer, and it left Armin totally alone for the first time in his life.
So that was probably the final straw. I'm guessing you're about to make it really, really disgusting now.
Yeah. We're about to get into the fun shit. Yep, absolutely, Lloyd. You got it.
Got an Ed Gein situation on our hands almost.
Yeehaw.
Yes, very much so. Very, very much so.
So that's the first time he's actually been alone. I'm like, yep. It's about to go down.
I just started singing. What is it? Timber in my head. By who is it? Or no, it's going down by Timber and
I'm
what's
yelling
happening, Keisha?
timber.
Yes.
It's going down.
But
right?
so, like Missy said, a very Ed Gein situation. He started conducting a shrine in many parts of the house after her passing for her. And one of the shrines in her bedroom included a plastic mannequin that he would lay on a pillow every night and put to sleep. Now, at the same time, his mother's death brought a new freedom. So he no longer felt like he was under the control of his domineering mother. And he absolutely wasted zero time to go back to the internet to enjoy his new freedom. And this is when he came across a cannibal chat room. And he had the brilliant
There's a
idea.
whole fucking chat room for these guys.
Oh, you'll be surprised. Just wait. This is where he decided to post an ad looking for a very well built, tall, dark, and handsome man who was willing to be slaughtered and consumed.
What the fuck?
What was even more surprising than that was that several men responded.
Shut up. Are you...
I am not lying to you.
What the fuck?
I am not. And one of the
Who the
men
fuck-
that did
Who the
respond.
fuck volunteers?
Just wait. This one's a
Just
doozy.
Yeah.
One man called Borg did respond to Armin and planned to be Armin's first victim. And they, after many conversations, met at Armin's house, and Armin laid out this table preparing to be butchered. And Borg all of a sudden complained of feeling ill and asked to be released. And Armin let him go, in which that's
What
surprising.
a noble thing to do.
Yeah, but I also don't think it was noble. I think it was a kink. It was something where he had to be willing, which made it more enticing that he wanted it.
Okay.
So, since his first attempt fell through, he went back to his chat room and actually posted another ad. And then Brandis, who was a 43-year-old bisexual engineer, wrote to Armin on February 14th, 2001, saying that he would agree to be
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. He would agree to be eaten, and they went back and forth exchanging various emails discussing the best way in which Brandis would like to be eaten and how he would like his body to be used afterwards, even going to the extent that he suggested that his skull could be used as an ashtray, even though Armin did not smoke. But this was what Brandis wanted. It was almost like his will that was left of his body instead of his belongings.
So when you make the TikTok to this one, you got to use the "Dumb Ways to Die" song.
Okay, let's see if I can work that out. That would be perfect. Okay, so March 9th, 2001, Brandis went to Armin's home. And Armin and Brandis took the time to get to know each other over a glass of wine at a very well-set table, kind of ready for fine dining. Very Hannibal Lecter of him. And I kind of wonder if there was some kind of fascination there with Hannibal Lecter. But Armin truly enjoyed Brandis' company and felt like he would gain Brandis' better attributes once he consumed Brandis' flesh. And
I don't think it works like that, but okay.
Well, we'll keep going. This is about to make you two really uncomfortable, and I apologize, but I think it might be a little bit hilarious.
I love it.
But the conversation eventually led to the two having sex. Armin had enjoyed himself, but according to Armin, he reported that Brandis had told him he did not enjoy it. He was disappointed with how gentle Armin was with him and that he wanted more pain and torture, just as they had already discussed in their emails. So,
well, this isn't you didn't pay a prostitute to give you a certain thing. You reached out to somebody. Just how do you complain about that? Come on.
So, being frustrated, perhaps a little tipsy with the wine, but at this point, Brandis told Armin he wanted him to cut off his penis and he wanted him to eat it.
He's like, hey, man.
Y'all just talked about something about burnt wieners the other month or something like that.
So that was in reference to the story. So Toasties, we actually collaborated with another fabulous podcast called Two Drunk Bros, and we told a short version of this story, and it got out of hand. So when you hear Lloyd speaking about burnt wieners, that's what we're referencing. But
Burnt wieners,
if you would like to
mac
hear
and
that
cheese.
episode, you can go, you can go listen to Two Drunk Bros. It is on their podcast.
Yes. It was a good time. It was a good time.
It was a great time. But at this point, Brandon started to kind of get cold feet, and he still wanted to go through with it. So he was just trying to find ways, how can I get through this? This is what I want. So Brandis, not Armin, came up with the idea to drug himself so he can enjoy it more. And Brandis actually swallowed numerous sleeping pills, a bottle of cough medicine, and just to top it off, some schnapps before Armin amputated the penis for the pair to eat together.
Dumb ways to die. What the fuck goes on through some of these people's heads?
I don't know. This one is completely off the wall. But Brandis told Armin that he, afterwards that he was ready for it, and Armin decided a knife would be best. But unfortunately, his first attempt, when he grabbed the knife and attempted, it was too dull.
He should try 12 gauge shotgun.
And
that'll work so much better. Sorry.
But then Brandis couldn't really enjoy it then. It'd be just obliterated.
There would be nothing left.
I would think that Armin would have like a much better knife set to work with, considering this is what he's been dreaming of. So it really surprised me that he grabbed a dull knife. I don't know why that part surprised me.
Wish.
But of all this, that's what surprised me.
It was a set off a wish. Missy's really only laughing because she feels like I'm torturing you right now.
No, I'm laughing at what you're saying.
After trying to move Brandis's penis with the dull blade, he finally decided to upgrade to a much sharper blade. And this blade easily sliced through Brandis's flesh, and it did separate his member from his body.
Sean!
How do you guys feel?
Sean, just a slow laugh.
They're very quiet this episode.
I know.
What
I'm
did you
very
do to them,
disappointed.
Missy? You said they were awful.
I'm very disappointed. This
I
was
feel like
a
they're
perfect
traumatized.
episode for them to be like.
Well, yeah. I mean, because I kind of feel pain. Like when you say he's cutting, I feel that shit.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine.
Well, it gets better, guys.
Well, tell me if you can feel this. So, Brandis tried to eat a piece of his own penis raw, but apparently it was too chewy. And so Armin then proceeded to blanch it and then fry it with a little garlic and pepper, but ended up actually burning it.
What in the actual fuck? When you have an erection, that's because of the blood that's in your penis?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So once you sever that blood supply, I have to imagine that it just went limp. So they basically ate a cooked noodle.
It's probably not much there.
It would be like an overcooked noodle.
But it's chewy, so it's almost like it's mixing like a raw steak with an overcooked noodle.
All right, a silicone noodle.
Like squid, right? Like chewy like squid.
But
squid, yes. Calamari.
Yeah.
But what you guys fail to realize is they had this one chance. They've been talking about this. This is what they wanted.
Burnt it.
And they failed because Armin fucking burnt it. After all that, he fucking burned it. I'd be fucking pissed. You only get one chance to cut off my fucking penis.
You don't get no fucking chance to cut off my penis. Nobody cut off my damn penis.
This isn't Chef Boyardee.
You don't have to worry, hon. I'm no Lorraine Bobbitt.
Not cut off, yeah.
Fuck no. I don't care how much I drink or pills I take. No, you're not.
No.
Hey.
Look.
It's okay.
I didn't even want to get my vasectomy done.
It's alright. Nip tuck, Lloyd. It's okay.
Like, no. The knives do not go there.
Well, we can't obviously waste a burnt penis because remember, this is a precious piece of flesh that, they had sacrificed, either one-time chance. So Armin felt it best to feed it to the dog. So that way, at least the dog would still have a part of Brandis and still gain his attributes.
Sure.
Hey, baby, you want some penis? It's a delicacy. What the fuck, dude? Sorry. That was totally me this time.
He said, "Dong."
You're the one who hits the mic the fucking
You
most.
you hit it like 3 times already. Don't even
That's
give me
okay.
that.
Figgy's over here barking in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear him.
Chilling.
He's angry because he can't.
I have. It's okay.
Yeah, he's angry because he can't sit on Mama's lap.
Figgy just likes to be special guest of the show too.
Yeah, but so at this point, of course, Brandis is losing a more large amount of blood, and he's starting to become very cold. So he asked Armin if he could draw him a warm bath so he could bleed out more comfortably. And of course, Armin obliged. But Brandis was laying bleeding to death in the bath over the next 3 hours, while Armin couldn't find anything else better to do. Maybe not talk to him, maybe even read aloud to him. But Armin sat there reading a Star Trek book to himself in a different room. Yeah.
How romantic. To himself.
Yeah.
So I retract that statement. What a dick.
Yeah, he has more dick than Brandis right now.
Not even to mention the fact that you just cut his dick off. That has got to be one of the worst ways to fucking die as a man. I mean, y'all bleed every fucking month. But as a man, to just bleed out from right there has to be top 10 worst ways to die.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't put it in this story here either. I was trying to be a little bit more tactful with our podcast, but we have you two on the story, so I'm not going to try to keep that tact. But go back to when they were trying to dismember Brandis. Armin had actually tried to bite it off first, and he struggled so much trying to bite it. I don't know how he approached it. Use your imagination. But he actually bursted Brandis's testicles.
Swing and a miss. Got him.
I guess I'd prefer the butter. I guess I'd prefer the butter knife at that point. I don't know.
I kind of feel like at that point it's like I don't even know what would it be like busting into. Yeah, no. You gotta be picturing something biting into something.
I'm assuming he took like an underneath approach.
The sack.
And that's how.
It'd be like the Kool-Aid Man busting through a wall. Oh, yeah.
That's how he was neutered first before he was dismembered. So, you guys still with me?
Wow. He really tried to get his taint, huh?
Yeah, I think that was the approach. We start at the taint and move up.
Talk about tickling it.
About that, my nuts feel it. Yeah, dude.
He said, look at good. I got you. Here, I'm going to bite that shit.
I want you to lick my butthole from my taint.
Well, 10 hours later, Brandis was still alive. So at this point, this is when finally Armin starts to, kind of feel like, well, this is just torture. And I don't know if he was actually thinking about Brandis and himself. I think he was thinking, about his own torture, not really Brandis. But he said that he had sliced open Brandis's neck as a point to end Brandis's own misery. And he would go on to recant and later explain that his friend enjoyed dying and he enjoyed death. I only waited horrified for the end after doing the deed. It took so terribly long.
What?
And that is a quote from Armin. You guys okay?
No, I'm like honestly halfway mortified right now.
Lloyd's gonna be up tonight being like, babe, can you check to make sure somebody didn't bite it off? Is it still there?
No, I'm gonna be like, something just touched my nuts. What was it? The fuck was that?
He's got PTSD.
It's a pillow you keep between your knees, babe. Go to bed.
To all my fellow male toasties, I am so sorry if we caused you any PTSD.
Oh, man.
But now we begin Armin's favorite part and what he has long and waited for years, the consuming of the flesh. So Armin hung Brandis.
The burnt penis wasn't enough.
he didn't get to actually enjoy that. So, no, it wasn't enough. Come
That's
on,
his
wife.
own fault for not knowing how to cook.
Exactly, that's true.
Mommy
But
must
I
not have
don't
taught him how
know
to
how many
cook.
times he actually got to prepare dick. So, there's that.
No, mommy didn't teach him how to cook, but mommy taught him obviously how to still be crazy.
There is that. Yes. But Armin did hang Brandis's lifeless body on a meat hook and proceeded to cut the corpse into chunks and grind the bones into flour. Now, just so you know, he had already prepared one of the 36 rooms into this magnificent, like, slaughter room that he had. So he was well prepared. That's why it really just surprised me when he grabbed, like, I don't know if it was a butter knife, but a fucking dull knife to cut off the penis. He went to this much thought that he didn't actually have the correct equipment when he needed it. But anyways, he dismembered the entire body so that he could store the parts in the freezer, and he proceeded to eat over the following 10 months. And over those 10 months, he did consume 53 pounds of Brandison, and in those 10 months is when he finally started to get into trouble again. So,
trouble
of course,
again.
well, he got away with it
There was
once.
no
Well,
missing
technically,
murder or missing people or nobody was looking
You
for this
said
guy.
53 pounds. Like, damn.
Yes. So, there aren't really facts, so I left it out, but it's some kind of conspiracy that Brandis was actually with somebody else and did report him missing. But Brandis had gone to the extent of wiping everything clean that he just poof disappeared, and he's an adult. As it is here in America, you're just allowed to disappear. It wasn't a huge alarm.
It's also, you said it was a small town of like 100 people?
They weren't in the same town, not where Brandis was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brandis was in
Okay.
Germany. They were not in the same town. I forget the distance. But again, you're allowed to disappear as a human being, especially when you don't have any other really obligations. So that brings us to where Armin starts to get in trouble. So Armin was eventually arrested in December of 2002, but it was after a college student phoned the police after seeing new advertisements online for victims and details about the killing on the internet. So naturally, the investigators searched Armin's home and they did find the body parts, and Armin had actually placed them into a false bottom in his freezer. So he was hiding it. He did know it was wrong. But
Yeah.
among the evidence, they also found a videotape that showed Armin's and Brandis's sexual encounter to the dismemberment of Brandis's corpse. The entire evening was videotaped by Armin for his own viewing pleasure.
What the fuck?
Everything was on there.
Why?
Do you think the burnt sausage set off the smoke alarm?
I don't know. I don't know how high
Probably.
the ceilings were. I'm assuming
What if
that
you use
since it was a
smoked
pretty
paprika?
large house.
What if you put garlic and stuff on
No.
it, like onion and stuff?
She said he put garlic on
Yeah,
it.
but
He just put garlic and pepper. That was it. I already described the seasonings. Why are you hung up on the seasonings?
I know, but I would use like onion and stuff. You know?
Oh, apparently Sean wants to make it later.
I was about to say, why are you thinking about cooking dick?
Well, no, because we have hot dogs to make later. But we really do, for real. I'm not joking. That's not a lie.
That's
Are you still
perfect
going to eat
timing.
them after this?
Absolutely. I got that chili sauce. Oh my god. I can't wait.
In all fairness, I made something that looked pretty similar in burnt dick shape after we did this episode with two drunk bros.
I mean, hey, it just happens.
Tenderloin.
They happen, you know?
It was Father's Day.
Lloyd's over here like, no, I'm traumatized. I could not. But
Do you think he barbecued
the video,
ribs?
of course, I don't know which actual parts he ate and did not eat.
53 pounds.
I just know it was only
That's a
53
lot.
pounds.
Is it a lot?
If you're talking about
That's a lot of one person.
the meat, yes. I don't know if any part of that was actual flesh. I don't know if that's included in the bones because he did grind down the bones to try to turn into flour. I'm not quite sure.
It's a fillet of my loins.
I mean, if he ate 50, 53 pounds of me. I'd be down to 200 pounds. That's a lot.
But that's after you remove
I
all
look
your
skinny.
waste and stuff too. So yeah, it's even more
That's
so.
better than
Because when he obviously
gastric
butchered him
bypass.
and filleted him, yeah,
Wait a minute.
it's worse than that.
Wait.
But
Sean's like, I think we're on to something here.
all right, so the videotape is not anywhere to be found, of course, but jurors would later watch 18 minutes of this video, resulting in many of them having to seek psychiatric help due to the graphic nature of this video, as you can imagine. I don't know why they had to show him fucking 18 minutes
what?
to get the point
I feel
across.
like the overkill.
That's probably
Germans are
all they
fucking
can fucking
brutal.
deal
Well,
with.
yeah, but why?
Hey.
2 minutes is probably good. 18?
Oh,
I would think so, but you know, it's they're German. They're like they're hardcore, you know.
Let's fucking
So like,
embed
we
it.
can take this. Obviously, the jurors could not take that.
Damn.
Like after you take all the fucking commercials out, that's a whole fucking episode of some shows.
Yeah, it's true.
So, on January 30th, 2004, Armin was convicted of manslaughter, and he was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison.
That's not a whole lot for manslaughter.
So, the case did attract a considerable amount of media attention, and it led to the debate over whether Armin could be convicted at all, given that Brandes had actually voluntarily and knowingly participated in the act, and there was video proof of it. But the biggest complication was that cannibalism itself was not illegal in Germany at the time.
What?
It is not illegal. Or wasn't. It is now. But at the time, it was not.
It wasn't illegal to eat yourself or illegal to eat somebody else.
Cannibalism was not illegal.
Meaning either.
Yeah.
What?
So I guess you couldn't murder them.
You could eat them.
But
you could eat them.
If homeboy died of natural causes and you're like, hey, we can't let this go to waste and decided to eat them, that's another story. But that's not what he decided to do. He actually slit his throat. So that's where we get into manslaughter.
Technically speaking, he cut his fucking dick off and let him bleed to death in a bathtub, but he wasn't dying quick enough, so he
But he didn't bleed to death. He was still alive after 10 hours. He didn't die until Armin slit his throat.
Probably because the water got cold.
I imagine it was very cold. I am surprised that he was even still alive after 10 hours. But in April of 2005, a German court ordered a retrial after prosecutors appealed his sentence. They were not happy about this whatsoever. They believed that he should have been convicted of murder, not manslaughter, and had been given a life sentence. Because, as we know, in Germany, there is no death penalty.
There's nothing, apparently.
But among the questions courts answered is whether Brandes agreed to his killing and whether he was legally capable of doing so at the moment of the killing. And taking into the account his apparent and mental problems, as well as significant intake of alcohol and other drugs, they were uncertain of how this was actually going to go. And it was in this second trial that they actually showed the jurors the 18 minutes of the video. And that's why they did show him the 18 minutes, was to make a point. And then what they didn't show in the first trial was, because now they had the video, obviously that Armin killed to fulfill his own desires, particularly sexual desires. Cannibalism was a kink, and his partner was willing, which was a kink for him. And while Armin has repeatedly rejected this during his testimony, you can't say that it's not a kink. He's fully did this out of sexual desire. Because remember, Armin all along said it was a way to internally be with this person. He didn't fucking know this dude.
At all.
So I can't... No. There's no way that you can justify that and say that it's not a kink. It's just because I couldn't live without him. You actually knew him in the moment for maybe a span of maybe 12 hours?
Hey, you should come over to my place so I can eat you, and then we'll really get to know you. That doesn't click. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't mesh. It doesn't make sense. But at his retrial, a psychologist stated that Armin could reoffend and still had fantasies about devouring the flesh of young people. And on May 10th, 2006, a court in Frankfurt convicted Armin of murder and sentenced him to life imprisonment.
As you should.
Correct. Now, Armin has now admitted to what he has done and expressed regret for his actions. And he added that he wanted to write a book of his life story and with the aim of deterring anyone who wants to follow his steps. Because obviously he knows there are a lot more people out there than we actually know are out there. And websites dedicated to Armin have appeared with people advertising for willing victims. And Armin's comment was on it that they should go for treatment so it doesn't escalate like it did with me. And he does believe there are about 800 cannibals in Germany alone.
Considering the size of Germany, that's probably not that bad. However,
how are you not shocked by that? I was astounded.
That's
by
a
that.
lot.
You're like, yeah, that fucking seems about right.
But genuinely think about it. Like, think about how many like pedophiles and stuff like that live in each city or state. Like, there's
I don't even want to think about that.
There's 83.2 million people in Germany, and even if 1,000 of them were into that, that's really not that's less than 100 per capita.
That's a lot of people.
Still,
cannibals.
I still can't imagine. My mind can't still wrap around just 800 people
wanting to eat other people
being interested in that in just Germany alone. I could maybe see it in the world. Maybe. But still, I have my hard time wrapping around it in the world. But you're telling me in one country alone, there's 800 fucking people that want to fucking eat other human beings? Absolutely fucking not. I can't wrap my mind around that.
I don't want to wrap my mind around that, but
the reality.
But the reality of it is well, all right. So say if there was 800 people that were willing to kill somebody for no reason, you would accept that because that happens on the daily, right?
Often. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing that's missing is the guy's frying his fucking balls for filet mignon.
We are missing that.
Or
yes.
Or he's eating.
Or at least we're not told those parts.
Yeah, or he's eating a snatch pie. I mean, hey, it's not what I'm into. I could not even fathom. Definitely not a sexual kink to any of that by any means.
Needless to say, this is Germany's what's his fuck? I hate him. Milwaukee, help me out. Why am I going brain dead right now?
What are you talking about?
Are you talking about the
See, you can't think of his name either. We all know him. Yes, thank you. Yes. Essentially, this is Germany's Dahmer.
Whoa. No, not even fucking close.
No, but I'm saying essentially. That's that key word. Essentially.
One victim was versus multiples.
Many. That and Dahmer.
Yeah.
No, that's not comparable. Not even. Not even.
But essentially, you still have two cannibals. This was the worst of what they had. Dahmer was one of the worst. There's other. Dahmer's not the only cannibal in America.
Oh gosh,
it's the only cannibal you hear about.
Him and one other dude. Oh, he's a real big dude.
There's a couple other ones.
Yeah.
They didn't have as many victims, but
there was
essentially
there was the one that was selling it at a side road station barbecue stand.
As a barbecue.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was worse than Dahmer in that moment. He is selling it to the masses.
But Germany, if you didn't know, has a different, I guess, approach to their inmates. They try to make a new life for them, I guess. And Armin actually did take that in a positive manner and has since helped investigators an analysis of two suspected cannibal murders from 1998 and 2000. in which 2 young boys were found horribly mutilated, and it was possibly the same murderer, but he did help investigators with that investigation. And upon entering the prison, Armin has also, and this shocked me, he has also become a vegetarian. And he works in the prison library and joined a prisoners group, which he stands for the Green Party politics.
Yeah, their prison system is like a rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe because he tried burnt dick is why he went vegetarian.
Yeah, I want the other white
Again,
meat.
he didn't eat the burnt dick.
Nobody ate 53 pounds of it. Probably had the shits for days.
I mean, it wasn't 53
I don't
pounds
know.
of dick, though.
I watched an interview with
big
him, which
dick.
was kind of hard to like. Sorry, Germany. It was really kind of hard to read because you guys like speak with no emotion. So I was like, I don't know how to
was
like
angry.
take this guy. He just seems very emotionless. But he did seem like he had turned his life around at this point. And he was very open about talking about it even now to the day. But he has rejected many offers because many people have come to him and like, hey, we want to make a film about you. Because ultimately it would make a great film. But he's told them no, he does not want to bring his story to the big screen and has instead assigned the global rights to his story to a Hamburg-based company for no charge on the condition that it gives an accurate account of his case. So that way people are actually educated on his issues.
That's halfway noble.
Mm-hmm. Halfway. But yeah, that's my story of Armin, the cannibal of Germany.
Well, damn.
Or they call him the cannibal of Rotenburg.
Rotenburg, yeah.
That's where he lived.
Rotenburg.
Rotenburg dick.
I still can't like get over that eating
Yeah.
the whole like
Rothenburg.
Could you imagine? I mean, jeez.
No, I could actually deal without even trying to imagine that.
Ooh, I want to go there.
I mean, golly.
So loud.
Sorry.
53 pounds. That's a lot of meat.
You're still on
Yeah.
the 53 pounds.
I mean, genuinely, when you think about that well, first off, he had a hidden compartment built into his freezer, so he definitely knew it was wrong. But think about 53 pounds of meat. I mean,
I'm a human.
What's well, I guess if you're like a professional barbecue or something like that, 53 pounds isn't much, but
It's 53 pounds to one person, though.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's making barbecue and coleslaw and shit.
That's £1 a week. So,
I mean, hey.
Not quite enough to feed you for a whole year, but maybe half a year.
I mean, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, he didn't have to do it. That's the issue.
I mean,
like I said, what I think what floors my mind just as much is that there's people that are willing to basically commit suicide to have somebody eat them.
Yeah, like here.
Yeah, that's really where I could see Armin's point of view, but for Brandis to be so miserable in his mental state to say, "This is I'm ready." Ultimately, I'm ready to go. Like that alone is heartbreaking. But this is how I want to go out. This is how, because still at the end of the day, I want to be enjoyed. Ultimately, like that astounds me. I can't wrap my head around it.
He's like, you better.
Do you think if his mom died at home, he would have ate his mom?
Probably.
Probably not, because she wasn't willing.
Because there's like horror movies, like not necessarily horror movies, but like movies where like they're so distraught about their parents dying that they basically ferment them and keep them in the house as
like American Horror Story and Cult, or no, it's not Cult. No, it is Cult. It is Cult. He keeps his parents in the bedroom decaying because he doesn't want to live without them anymore.
And then they're like freaking skeletons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see it quite a bit, and that's why it's used in so many like pop culture horror movies or horror shows. But I honestly believe that he wouldn't have eaten his mother, and the only reason why I say that was because if I'm thinking like Armin, her meat would have been tainted because she had cancer. And if his true belief was that he wanted to absorb this human being through their flesh, he would be taking in that cancer himself and her illness.
But how did?
So I don't know. I don't think he would have. Maybe if she hadn't had cancer, probably.
So what did he ask for the other guy's health records? Hey, can I see if you have any
I need to know.
STDs before I eat your
Yeah,
fucking
I need
dick?
to know if you got good attributes, man.
Oh,
Like,
I don't know. They didn't release all that, but the authorities do have all the emails going back and forth, and it was quite the fucking list. I saw some of them, but a lot of them are not available to the public.
He had crabs that was like deep fried crabs. We got crickets that taste just like frog. Crickets to the crotch. Golly.
It's still fucked up.
That's messed up.
And disgusting.
You guys this story,
I just
want to say this story really has them freaking jolted because they were silent for you.
What?
We were not silent.
You were.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I'm really surprised. They weren't silent.
No, not silent. Like,
they
not
weren't,
silent.
like, cracking jokes.
You guys were
Like,
not.
I was expecting more humor.
Yes.
And I'm actually a little disappointed.
I am too.
They were more like terrified.
This approach like more like detectives.
Oh, you guys think I think you guys
reporters,
you guys think you're professionals now.
And like we were on the scene, like we were there firsthand, so we got to come at a more professional approach. Like
so actually the real reason is because Sean narked you out and said that you put him in a 23-minute timeout.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I did not.
No,
I laughed
she did.
at
Actually,
the last episode. I actually really enjoyed it. Especially, shut up, Sean. Give me a second. Especially when Missy played her clip and it was all the fucking demon coming out of this fucking little girl. And Sean's like, actually, I think she just wanted
Taco Bell.
blah, 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 blah from Taco Bell. And I was like, that's my fucking order. That's what he fucking thinks of me when I fucking get hangry. He's thinking
Which is exactly what he said too.
I mean, hey, at least I'm honest.
And it was funny too because like he did that. He did the Taco Bell joke, and he is like, Johnsie's gonna like that part. And sure shit, she comes at me. She's like, I love the Taco Bell part.
I may have to turn that into a TikTok just for my own enjoyment.
Taco Bell clip.
I was really hoping with this episode more jokes because of how many jokes you guys had with my exorcism.
Okay, hold on. Hold the fort right there. Male genitalia. We can like feel that shit when she's telling us about it. Her having demons, not to discredit her because she was sick, but
this is relatable.
Right.
This is something like
too close to home.
Yes.
Too close to home.
Like we feel it.
Yeah.
They're over there holding their balls.
It's like
you don't bite it. Don't bite it. Stop.
If a guy sees another guy,
Missy.
If a guy sees another guy get kicked in the balls, he's not like, I wonder if that feels good. No, he's like, oh man, I can feel my balls in my stomach just by watching that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So Missy, I think your plan backfired. Instead of punishing me, we actually punished the boys.
I mean,
for acting out last episode.
Yeah.
So really,
like I literally got punished, y'all. I don't want to say on here because it could, But I did.
He did not. He did not.
I believe it.
I do not, guys. I do not. Guys.
Y'all.
Everyone's going to think I'm a hubby beater.
I'm alright. I'm alright. That's okay.
We know
this too shall pass.
We know you're not, Johnsy. It's okay.
Now I can't threaten him on here because then everybody will really believe it.
It's okay, y'all.
It's okay, Johnsy. We can just edit it out.
What?
Yeah, Lloyd will just cut that right out. Nobody will ever know. He'll make something up. We see that already. And then I won't cut it out, and you'll be like, no, you got to cut that out.
It's too bad it's in my hard drive too.
Well, thank you guys for being part of our last 2 episodes. It was fun, and last week was just as fun as this week. So
can that be the last?
No, we'll definitely have you guys back on again. It's a good time.
Lord, I feel like we're getting kicked off
later
here.
on, but our next one will be back to normal. We've done a lot of different episodes recently, and I think we need to get back to where we started.
Yes, between us three and myself and the fence post, I could deal without thinking about roasted fucking balls and dicks and shit like that.
True. Behind the scenes.
I'd much rather be downstairs shooting the shit with Sean.
Yeah. Same here.
Well, we're going to make that happen next episode. Everybody needs to stay tuned. We do appreciate all the suggestions, and you may not hear it immediately, but we are researching them. Just give us time, but definitely keep them coming. You can suggest those cases on our website or hit us up on any of the social medias. And I'm going to let Missy take that over because she's the best at it.
Yeah, guys.
Just look for the bell.
No, you messed up. You messed up. So you guys can find us on TikTok, or Facebook, or Instagram, toastedshenanigans.com on our website, or you can email us at toastedshenaniganspodcast@gmail.com. And make sure you guys are following, like, follow, share, hit that little bell. That's how you do it.
Her fucking bell. Yeah.
Hey, it helps. Keeps me up to date when those episodes are out, and I want to make sure to listen to them.
You hear that, Lloyd?
Yep, that's the spot.
That's the spot.
Tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
Singing from the rooftops.
Just hide your wives.
Hide your mans.
Put them away.
Keep it in the pants, guys. But until next time, bye.